Winner, chicken dinner.
What up?
Yes, sir.
Let's go.
Got the chicken suit on.
Let's go.
Dude, all right. Should we just go? Should we just get hyped?
Just fucking let it rip, man.
I'm Chad Eckert, and that's Joe Idoni, and this is the winning golf podcast called the Preferred Lines Golf Podcast. Follow us on iTunes and YouTube, and you'll see me in the winner chicken winner dinner. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's do it. Cheers to you, sir.
Are we still hashtag not experts? That's the big question. Because what qualifies you as an expert? Is he getting lucky with Denny McCarthy going 8 under?
Dude, you already put out that victory cigar?
Oh, man, I've had myself a great 24 hours.
Oh, my God. This is the best. I'm not going to be able to last long in this chicken suit. So you better get over to YouTube, and you got to check us out over there because – what we're doing on this Preferred Lines is we're celebrating. If you have been living under a rock or if you're not on Twitter, maybe you don't know. But our guy here, Joe Idoni at Tour Picks on Twitter, took down a mega profit.
Oh, boy.
I'm shaking for you, buddy.
I was just pacing. Ever since it happened, I've just been kind of walking. Across my kitchen, just putting laps in. It's been fun, man.
Okay, 20-second timeout. Yeah, right. 20-second timeout. I got to take this thing out.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, I appreciate it, though.
But, anything for content, Joe, content.
On a serious note, I do have to say thank you to everyone who reached out and gave me a congratulations. I haven't had time to get back to everybody, but it's awesome. I genuinely appreciate everyone. It was so sick to enjoy that moment with people, and it just happened to I popped on the Periscope and some shit went down with Oppenheim on 18 for $37,000.
That's
unbelievable.
Amazing. Yeah, so you got an extra $37,000 off of dude's bogey, which put somebody into the top 10 or did something.
I don't know, but the money's there. I checked this morning. I've been refreshing every 5 minutes.
Yeah, okay, well, dude, we basically had to have you as the front 9 guest this week. Typically on the Preferred Lines podcast, we have an expert on, someone with more knowledge than us. But as you alluded to, are we experts now?
Because
I don't know either. Let's think about that. I mean, I don't know. No, because it's all guesswork and it's fun. And the truth is, Joe, we know you bet on golf because this is a betting podcast. Hello, welcome.
Yep.
We do this every Monday night. But clearly, you play on DraftKings as well, and that is where you took down the $112,500. Or was it a little more than that? I know you got some money off the Bagels Listener League. More importantly, you're getting the golf ball, too.
And I won a couple, flop shot or whatever it's called, the $33. I won 2 of those. So yeah, it was an awesome weekend. I'll never forget.
Okay. Let's this is more for us and for you, Joe, so you can listen back to this and reminisce for years to come. Because I do that with the quarter arcade win that I had, and it's great. It's glorious to remember. And because you will forget. You'll be like, oh yeah,
I'll forget.
What happened? So we're going to do this quickly as our front 9 guests, Joe Idoni. You can follow him at Tour Picks on Twitter. Tell us everything. Why did you join this particular contest, and do you normally play for $25?
Yeah, I do. I usually play the Millie Maker. I put 3 or 4 lineups in. I certainly don't max enter it, but I usually play. I mean, we talked about this the first time I met you, that I go I don't really play the double ups or anything like that. My goal is to try and hit the lotto ticket, and I got lucky one time, and it happened. Sort of happened, but, it's funny. It's the first week. I can't, not think in my mind, damn, it's the first week they didn't do the Millie Maker, which would have been this one. But, dude, it was –
yeah, but you would have gone against, another – 200,000 people or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Maybe. They'd have
I
to
think so.
bump up the number of people you'd have to beat. So, in a way, there's
Mhm.
good and bad about all of it. Now, have you ever won bigly before, or is this the biggest win you've had? I mean, you say
No.
you've gone for the mega profit. Have you ever achieved it on DraftKings?
No, not like this. Nothing like this. I've won I think like $20 before, and it was like a great weekend, and I like
2,500.
Yeah, and I hit a winner with it, and it was awesome. But that's like pales in comparison at this point, right? Yeah.
Okay, let's recap the sweat a little bit. So you
Yeah.
were going into round 4 carrying the lead on Saturday night. You slept on the lead. What's it like to sleep with that lead?
Dude, to be honest with you, I slept like a baby. It was like one of the earliest nights I've been to sleep in such a long time. It was a long day for me with the kids on Saturday, and I was working on the bathroom remodel, and I was asleep by probably 9:30 at night, like the earliest I've gone to bed. Slept in the morning. It was great. But yeah, it was interesting. Like I had some offers out there to take the ticket off my hands, and I'm glad I said no.
Yeah, exactly. Well, let's roll it back though before we get into that.
Yeah.
Do you have a feeling on Friday or Saturday, or when did you know that this team had a chance and that was like a contender for $500,000? Did you even know about it?
You sparked it. You texted me. I think it was Quagnus that like.
Are you kidding
it.
me? That was us?
And he saw it, and then I was in first, and like you screenshot it. You were like, "Are you sweating right now?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm in my bathroom painting cabinets."
Oh my God. Yeah. You sent back like, no, like, or what are you talking about or something? And I was like, oh, he's playing coy. He's pretending.
No, I really didn't know. I swear. And then I saw that, and then I started. Yeah, that's when the sweat really began to kick in. And I'm real superstitious. Like when things are going well, I don't like to switch things up. I'm like this with the Browns, like every Sunday. So, yeah, man, I was superstitious. So
then when we discussed going public with it, okay, with that, you were hesitant because, for me, it was selfish because I wanted the Preferred Lines podcast to get some name recognition. If there's a $500,000 behind the guy that runs a preferred, selfishly, the marketing department of the Preferred Lines podcast was all over it. Let's tweet it. Let's go. Let's get some hype going. And also, I had a lot of reasons why you should, and I understood the reasons why you kind of didn't want to because such a small % chance to actually do it, to tweet about it. It's kind of like, well, and whatever. But do you have any regrets about putting it on public and how that worked out?
No, I'm glad I did it. I think it was a good move for me and a good move for us to do it and like kind of let people join along. Like I said, the superstitious part of me did not want to do that, and that. I told you no way, you cannot tweet about this for 5 hours until I finally caved.
I was ready to Don King you. I told you I was going to just hype the shit out of you. But yeah, I was going to be your man.
Yeah, I don't know. I just didn't want to give off the impression that I was victory lapping a Saturday night first place.
I love the early victory laps though. I love them. Yeah, I do them myself sometimes.
People love the early victory laps, but I just didn't want to go down that road. But I figured it's not going to change the outcome of anything. Let people join along on the ride, and it could be an epic roller coaster that it kind of turned out to be.
So when you entered the $25, do you have any expectations?
This is going to sound crazy, but I've done well in the Millionaire Maker since golf came back. I haven't lost money in that contest, and I throw 3 or 4 in there, but usually one of my lineups, it's never been a sweat like that, but it cashes 100, 150, $200, and I've been making money on that contest. So it wasn't crazy when I saw myself in the top 1,000 people, I guess, on Thursday, Friday. But yeah, I did not have any expectations, obviously, from how it ended up.
When did you start having expectations? Was it Saturday afternoon, or were you still thinking I'll be okay if I get $1,000 off this thing? Where's where's the low bar?
Of course, anything is good, especially in those type of contests where the cliff is so drastic in terms of payout structures.
True.
So yeah, I thought I don't know, man. I didn't really have much expectations. I just wanted to let it ride because I'm not a high stakes player. I don't max enter contests by any means. I don't put $1,000 into DraftKings a week or more. So, I had, Brian Snow, like, I don't think he was serious, but he was like, would you take 25,000 for it? And I told him no, kind of on the side via text. And I don't know if he would have done it or not, but I did. I golfed Sunday morning with a friend of mine and got another offer. From someone that was a little more serious that wanted half the ticket, and he was going to give me $12,000 for half the ticket, half of whatever it paid. And that I was really considering for a while, just because
you could have ended up with 10,000 for a while there. Like,
it's a lot of money.
Or 10th place is 10,000. I mean, like,
and to still have half of it would have been great, but I'm a gambler, man. I'm here to get. That's what I play for. I'm not. Oh my God. I want the chance, and you don't come along these chances very often, as you know.
Now, you said on your live video on the Periscope that you weren't paying attention at all, really, or you were like on your phone and it was kind of like passive. And I kind of understand that, knowing the sweat that's going into it and that you have no control over anything. So what was your thought process around watching it or not watching it and then just enjoying the moment or whatever?
Well, look, if you looked at my lineup, I didn't have the most reliable group of golfers in there. So I had your Redmond and McCarthy and Hubbard and Sungjae even can shoot +2 or 7 under. You just never know. Exactly. So, I kind of just wanted to keep doing what I was doing. And that was my idea, that like not to change anything up. And then I went pretty far down the leaderboard. I'm not sure how exactly far it dropped, but I was not checking the DraftKings board at all. I was
watching you the whole day, every second. Like at one point, I think you were even far as like 20th or like in the teens for sure.
I did check it at that point, but then that's when I was like, I'm done checking it now. I think
you still had the most minutes remaining or holes remaining or whatever.
I did. I had a lot of holes remaining, but my guys were going the wrong way. I had like a Hubbard double and a Siwoo double within like the span of 2 minutes. And I was like, all right.
So, your team. We could probably talk about your team. Like, why'd you pick them or whatever, but it's.
Yeah, I don't know. Who knows? I picked them.
Hubbard.
Hubbard. We talked about him last week a little bit.
Yeah, he was in my player pool. Yeah, but he almost screwed you hard. That was the guy that kind of almost.
Is a staple of my DraftKings. McCarthy is like my guy. I fucking love Denny now forever.
And you weren't afraid of chalk Webb. You just said, "I'll eat that. I don't care."
No, I've told you this before. I don't worry about ownership at all. I don't. Look, was Webb the highest owned guy?
Yeah.
So I had the highest owned guy in a contest with 92,000 entries, and I wasn't duplicated. So, No,
I know. Yeah, it's the way that you took the other guys.
Yeah, so
Joe, we preach this every night or every Tuesday on the Fantasy Golf Pod if you want to follow us. And Joe, I'm trying to get you. I'm trying to get this guest for tomorrow's podcast to give his lineup for this week. You think I can get this tour picks guy? Come on, Fantasy Golf.
I got you, buddy. I got you. Whatever you need me, man, I'm here.
Yeah, so stay tuned for that. So we won't give away what we're having on our DraftKings lineups. We're going to do our betting card real quickly. Before we do that, though, you mentioned you're getting a profit on the Mega Million whatever maker. Do you have a process? What's your research process like? Do you trust certain people? Do you only use your gut and your brain? What do you do each week?
The bigger the contest, the more people in the contest, the easier they are to win.
Oh, really?
So you got 92,000 people in this contest. I figure at least 60,000 of them. I'm just better than 60,000.
You're Brooks Koepka. You're Brooks Koepka in this.
Now you're down to about 35,000 guys. Half of those guys aren't going to be able to handle the pressure. Mm-hmm. So you really only have to beat about 200 guys, right?
It's amazing. Holy shit. Well, do you think you're gonna win again?
No, I'm never gonna win like that again. I'm not gonna. A couple of people have asked me if I'm gonna start like full-time DraftKings, like going 150 lineups, and the answer
or upping your bankroll.
No.
Are you gonna do more this week though? Are you gonna play more?
No, No, I haven't even looked at the DraftKings pricing yet, to be completely honest. I'm gonna stick to my like $200 to $400 a week in there.
Yeah. And is there anything you're doing with the money? Like people want to know, are you going to put it towards your house or college savings or anything?
My wife wants to know too.
Yeah, I bet.
No, but I don't. I want to join a like sweet golf club because I got like 20 of them around me right here, and it was like my goal at the beginning of the year. I was like, I want to every time that I cash, whether it be an outright or in DraftKings, I'm going to put a little bit aside and try to like bring this kitty up to the point where I can, get a membership somewhere at a sweet course where I don't have to pay every week to play and I can hit the range anytime and just enjoy the finer things in life. So I think I'm definitely going to do that. I'm going to check out some spots and pick one out. That's my number one thing.
Dude, I'm down with that. That's cool. So we got to win more money then, right?
No, I'm good. I'm good on that. I got to win more money for the house you talked about.
Yeah, we're trying to get you a mansion on like the inlands or on the water.
I'm perfectly content. I just redid the bathroom, man. I can't move now. I put in all that hard work this weekend.
Good resale value on that bathroom.
Yeah. You're my guy. You still got a license down here in Florida?
Oh, I got some referrals for you.
All right, good.
As much as, we don't want to move on from last week, shall we?
Open the board.
Let's crack open the board, and you'll find at the tippity tip top at the TPC Boston, Bryson DeChambeau. He's 12-1, and you got a slew of names under 20-1. Rahm, JT, Rory. Any interest from you? Because they're not really interesting to me because they're just it's not enough juice or enough meat on the bone.
Yeah, I'm out on those guys. They could all easily win. Rory's kind of interesting how he's still kind of priced with Rahm and JT, but his results have not shown that he's in any sort of form coming back. Mm-hmm. Kind of interesting that they aren't really moving that number, moving that needle on Rory.
Right.
But it's just, the prices are short. Obviously, it's been documented it's one of the best fields of the year. It's a course where I think there's a lot of players that it sets up favorably to in the lower range. And we've talked about this before. It seems like the sweet spot for betting this year is really in, 25 to 40 to 1. That's where you're going to see your best returns. And that's where we're seeing a lot of these winners come down to. If they don't pull it out, they're right there on Sunday with a great opportunity. We saw it last week with Horschel. Morikawa hitting that range. It just seems to be coming from there. So that's where I'm going to kind of go back to. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, it's the playoffs, and we're supposed to, we're told the best players usually win playoff events. But, I mean, the difference between the best and the best is so small that I don't know if it matters, especially when there is a cut this week. And you can have a top guy fail and still make it to the next round. So it's not crunch moment yet. So I think you could skip the top range, go to the 20s. DJ starts off there. Colin, Jason Day, Xander, Berger, Cantlay, Reed, and even Webb. It's all in the 20s. Are you interested in these names? Because I kind of do like them. I mean, you could start your card here, definitely.
I do have some interest here. So Morikawa is really interesting to me. I'm bouncing back and forth. I saw you put out the tweet today. Are you ready for world number one, Morikawa? I just don't feel like I am, but it makes sense, right? He's playing the best of anybody, I think, since the return. It's not arguable. I listened to Mayo earlier and said, is he the best golfer right now in the world? And he might be. So if that's the case, then 20-1 would present some value here. Coming off his first major championship, though, I'm likely going to pass. Have some interest in Webb. He was in my lineup last week, played pretty solid, top 10, top 7 or something last week at a course where he loves, where he was very popular. The popularity may be down a little bit, but he still shows a little bit of value there. But I'm starting with Brooks, man. Call me crazy, but I'm going back.
You're crazy because that's –
I'm riding
We're not-
high. I'm walking on the clouds.
yeah. Just waste some money then this week.
Yeah, I'm gonna waste some money on Brooks. But here, look.
Well, I saw him
His
at
approach
33
numbers
where
are
he's not
back.
even here.
I have him at 33-1. His approaches are back. If you look at the guys who've won this event,
I suppose
in the past, JT, Bryson, guys who typically spray the ball, which is his biggest problem right now, I feel, is off the tee. Now, listen to this. I got a little stat for you. Last 24 rounds, I looked up on Fantasy National. In the proximity ranges that are going to be most popular this week, 175 to 200, he is fourth in the field in approaches in the last 24 rounds. 150 to 175, which is actually probably more likely where Brooks lands because he's, as far as he hits it, these longer par fours, he's probably going to be in that 150 to 175 range. First in the field in approaches.
Yeah.
His
the
irons
putter
have returned, man. If you think about it, at Memphis, it's the putter and it's the getting himself into stupid trouble off the tee.
For sure.
He doesn't necessarily need to. He was a popular pick in Memphis at the same number, I believe, 33-1. A lot of people had him. He was a popular pick at the PGA Championship. Everyone was on his nuts until Sunday, and now everyone's off the Brooks train. I'm going to stay on it for another week. I'll probably be one of the only people on that train, but there will be plenty of space for me. What do you got in this range?
You can afford to live on that train. I am living on the Patrick Reed train, okay? I love it, but at the same time, I don't know if it's like he's been too good. So at Northern Trust, he's won 2. He's been really good coming in. He eagled a bunch of holes. He does stuff, and I don't know. At 28-1 is the reason why I like it, because it's like I feel like that's a good value for a guy that could definitely win. But my real truth is that I'm going to move on. I'm going to go to the lower ranges. And, Joe, I'm doing team no putt this week.
So you got Finau.
Definitely Finau. He's on the card. Okay. In the 30s, 33-1, I got Tony Finau. But you know what? I don't know. Somehow I saw it at 28, and I just took it, and then I didn't even care. Because Tony Finau probably will win. And he's due to win. This is a sniper course. There's kind of some like down trend on Tony, and it's like because he just hasn't finished it off, and it's like he's been so freaking good. So then he's kind of due. So yes, okay. Team no putt starts with Tony, and then it also leads me into Hideki Matsuyama as well.
40? You got a 40 on him?
I got a 40 on him. Actually, I
Okay.
did do the right number on him. You can find him at 33 in some places, which is a ludicrous number. 40 is even ludicrous.
Why? Give me a reason for Hideki.
Hideki should be 50 or 60. Yes, I understand. But at the same time, I can't get out of my head that like there is a point of where someone is due, and he is actually maybe at that point. And he kind of does get up for these big events. Yes, see him at the Players leading at the first round. Definitely don't need to be good with your putter here. The bent grass greens are very nice to everyone, and especially to Hideki, who, whatever, I don't know. He's been bad, okay, with the putter, but he's been so solid with his irons. And if it's an iron place, like I feel like he could pick up some strokes. Dude has been top 25 in 4 of his last 5. The one was Memorial, where the greens were like lightning speed, and he can't do that. So team no putt captains on my betting card are Hideki at 40 and Finau at 33, and I got more of them later. What do you think of that idea? Is that weird?
Well, no. Team no putt, there's nothing wrong with that. It's a popular move. I'm curious about a guy at 30-1, and it's Patrick Cantlay. It just seems like a number play.
Right.
Like a valuable positioning for Patrick Cantlay. I know he underperformed at the PGA Championship. I know he's pretty much underperformed since the return at Memorial as well. I had him, but he was in the teens or in the low 20s at all of those events. You're getting a little bit of a bump on him. 30-1 seems like a very fair number on someone who could go well here. I also have a little bit of interest in Daniel Berger. I'm not going to lie. Okay. I don't normally play Berger, but every time I've doubted him this year, he's proven me wrong, and he is just scoring like a mother. He just puts together rounds 66 and 67s casually at this point.
Yeah.
He's playing incredibly well. It's like I don't know what to say. And at 33-1, he's gaining more strokes than anybody I think I saw today since you know, post the COVID delay. So he's in great form. Seems like it's an approach course, which is normally Daniel Berger's strength. So I'm between Cantlay and Berger for my second choice in that range. Haven't pulled the trigger yet, though.
Okay. I'd probably buy up for Webb or buy up for Reed just because I've seen them do it, and
I have interest in Reed, right?
Okay.
I had him Northern Trust last year. He was 56-1 last year. So
that's right. And then you came on our pod the next day.
Yeah. That was when I made my first appearance and we first met because I hit Patrick Reed and had a nice little DraftKings day, right?
Yeah, you won that qualifier.
So, I've got some equity in Patrick Reed at the Northern Trust, and Beautiful. It's kind of I might throw him a bone.
Now, what about Tiger Woods? Is he gonna? Could he win? No, 40 too much. But DraftKings, maybe.
I think he can. He's so tough to predict.
Right.
I really wanted him at Harding Park, and I laid off, and I'm glad I did. And it's just so fun to have a Tiger Woods bet. And this is the number. I talked to Ryan about this earlier, and he made a great point and was like, this is the number that you see next to the name Woods, and you just take it. You just don't think about it, but when you see a 40 on Woods, you just take it. And he's right about that. He's the greatest player of all time. He's striking the ball pretty well. The warmer temps and being midsummer up there should help him to keep the body loose. And he's gearing up for the U.S. Open and the Masters. Does he necessarily want to go 100% full bore into effort this week? We'll find out, but it's a number where you can make that gamble.
And he's not currently inside the top 30, so he does need points to reach the finale and get the chance at the 15 million. We know when you get to the finale, it's staggered too. So it truly is like a 3-week playoff or a 3-week tournament. It's one big tournament. So today's results screw you later or help you later. So the people, they will come in focus. That's why Tiger's even playing this at all, or else if he didn't care, he would just skip this and play next week and try to get into the top 30 by finishing third or whatever. But whatever. Let's go on to the 50s. There's some names here. This is ridiculous. There's some real solid historic names. Adam Scott, Justin Rose, Paul Casey, Ricky Fowler. Like, what the fuck?
I know.
I mean, are they not winners?
Adam Scott, Paul Casey. No.
Rose was the ruiner of everyone last week.
Rose ruined everyone last week. He seems like he's trying to find something. I watched him a lot last week, just because he was in the Brooks group, and
he's going to be more motivated this weekend at 50-1.
It's a fair price. If you like Justin Rose, I can see how you can make an easy case for making a 50-1 wager on him this week. I'm going to pass. I've got a little interest in potentially Ricky coming back as a winner here previously, but his approach numbers have just not been there.
God, he's just so close to dialing it in, I feel like. But he's a little bit like Spieth, where you see some flashes of, wow, okay, it could go, it could be there. He's a major winner, or he could be a major winner. Oh, wait, then he has a fucking round where he just is terrible. So you lose all confidence, and that's what's happening to his own psyche. So in a way, you kind of have to maybe see a couple rounds. Same with Tiger. You got to see some rounds in them, but then at that point, they'll be 30-1 or 20-1, and then you'll lose the value. So whatever. Sung J Im at 50, he's back, but is he back because he's not on Bermuda this week? Last week on Bermuda, Sung J Im, top 10, wonderful. I would like you to admit you clicked Sung J Im. You made $112,500 because I was all in, and I influenced you.
You were?
What?
100%.
Really?
Sung J was a huge factor. Look, he struck it incredibly, and it's hard not to look back on an event, even when you won that much, and been like, man, if he would have just sunk a couple of those putts. I think on 1 and 2, he had 4 feet for birdie, coming out of the gates, and he missed them both. And that's when I'm like, oh my God, Sung J, don't do. with a great day. Had a huge eagle for that like turned the tides. But he had the other one where he could have potentially had a hole and it kicked off the pin. Like you take two of those and make them birdies.
He's top five
right there, man.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm firing a bet off on him 50-1. That's worse than it was last week. And I don't care. Like he could fire it. I mean, this is where he's an individual in an individual sport that could just all of a sudden catch absolute fire couple rounds, and then at 50-1 you just use that to hedge, but whatever.
He's such an incredible golfer, right? Mm-hmm. He's such an incredible player, and he puts the work in. You knew it was only a matter of time before it was like the smallest of changes in his iron. It could have been his setup, it could have been his stance, it could have been his grip, it could have been anything, but it was the smallest of changes. And he's once again what we now think Colin Morikawa is, right? 6 months ago, Sung J M was that guy that could not hit a bad iron shot. He's so close to that, and we know it's there. In this range, the only play that I've made so far is Hatton, 66-1. I like him.
Yeah,
it's just
too high up.
Number for him. Yeah, I feel like he's got some good motivation. He hasn't necessarily put it all together the last couple weeks, but we'll see. I'll be honest. I didn't put my normal research into this week. I've kind of spent the last 24 hours on a high, but
with a cigar.
Yeah.
Just chilling. Dude, I don't blame you at all. It's only Monday at 7:45, so just follow tour picks on Twitter.
I bet Terrell Hatton already.
I have a bet on him.
2 bets so far.
Dude, you open it up, you see him at 66. He's been one of the best players since the restart or whatever, or even in total 2020 or whatever. He's great. Terrell Hatton at 66, but at the same time, dude, I'm going team no putt. And it could almost include Spieth at this point because he can't putt. That's his problem, which is weird. But in this section with the 66s, who's the worst putter? Victor Hovland at 66-1. He can't putt at all. But if he could put a putt, he can or he can't. I don't know. He's like Morikawa, where they said Morikawa can't putt, and then all of a sudden he's winning tournaments, making 20-footers. Fourth. Yeah. Everybody said this. But so we'll see. Okay. 66-1 fits the narrative team no putt, so he's on the card.
Good. What about the other guy up there who has not been able to putt well lately, but a teammate of Victor Hovland at a similar number, our boy, the Wolf?
No, I didn't go with him because that's bullshit. He did putt amazing, and he almost won the 3M or Rocket.
Yeah, but what about the PGA Championship, man?
I know
if he would have putted reasonably there, he could have been in a playoff.
My problem is I feel like he did too well there. That how could he do any better? And this is kind of like a major field. So at the same number, I feel like maybe Hovland had his little wave down and is about to hit his wave up. Because that's what happens, Joe. We know this is golf. We know this is just a sport. The energies change. People get good and get bad. Bad or good or bad. Things happen. That's what we know. And so I'm going with Hovland. I love Wolf. I'll probably use him in DraftKings or whatever because you can. But
yeah, I just noticed he was, I look a lot at the stat Fantasy National has for opportunities gained. It basically shows how many good looks at birdie and eagle that you have, whether you convert them or not. And he was number one last 24 rounds, I think. So,
yeah, we all saw him not convert a lot of those.
He's getting it close, man. He's so dialed in. He hits it a long way. He's sticking his approaches close. One of these weeks where he gains, 3 or 4 strokes putting, he's going to win that event. And he will take down any of these big dogs without a drop of sweat on his forehead.
He'll smile about it. He'll laugh about it the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we know. We talked about this, Joe. There's no crowds to make them scared and nervous and pressure on these rookies or young guys.
But I think even more so than Victor, he's built for the pressure. He's built for Sundays. He's built for I'm in the final pairing with Bryson DeChambeau, and I don't give a fuck.
Have you noticed about Wolf, Joe? He's wearing the Sunday orange.
I haven't. No.
Yeah, I've seen this now a couple times. Yeah, he's got that. Yeah. Burnt orange instead of the Sunday red. I think he's trying to establish that a little bit as his brand because he knows how this works. A lot of the people that are friends of his probably don't even know how good Tiger is because it's just a different generation and they just didn't know. People are Michael Jordan owns the team, right, or whatever. And there's people on the Charlotte Hornets didn't have a fucking clue that Jordan was the best of all time, and it was amazing. So like these young kids, we take for granted that they're aware of how good Tiger was. But I think the homage, the burnt orange, maybe we'll see that. I don't know. It'll be great. I'm in for it.
Anyone
Long
else?
shots.
Another one real quickly that I looked at in this range. It seems to be a good number. I think I saw 66 was Gary.
I know. What's up with that?
Anything for you? It just seemed like a really high number for Gary Woodland.
Well, so I tried to come up with a reason to bet 66 because it was such a good number, but then I look at his results and his little meddling finishes, and he kind of he's doing the dip. So maybe this is just like he got a week off and he's gearing up for the playoffs. And at 66, if he pops one time, he's not going to be at 66 again.
He's such a good approach player, and when he gets that swag going with his irons, he's tough to stop. It seems like he always just has a meltdown day,
right?
Where he takes an 8 on a par 5 that's unexplainable, and you're like, Gary, what the like? What are you doing?
Yeah, he could kind of fit the no putt narrative too. He's been.
He's team no putt, I believe.
Yeah, we're going long shots this week, and now I opened it and I saw Harry English at 80-1, and for how well he has played, that seemed too high for him. But he's too good of a putter to fit my card. But I might use him on DraftKings. Any interest in Harry English?
Haven't even really thought about it, but I probably won't play English. No, I think there's some good. There is good players down in this 100-1 range. It's just whether or not you think that they are ready to win a big time playoff event like this. But we've seen.
Well, let me ask you. Well, then is Leishman?
Yes, Leishman.
He's 100-1. Why is Leishman 100-1?
Leishman can win big time tournaments. I have no doubt. Another guy that I'm going to take probably as soon as we hang up here that's 100-1 that can win big time tournaments, has shown form, has shown approach numbers, and it's Shano Lowry.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man, he's playing good. I think he even played pretty well last week. But he's 100-1 and Open Championship winner. Playing damn well.
What's funny is I was listening to the broadcast and they were talking about how he had a trip planned and that he wasn't going to even be in the playoffs, so that he was already going to go to like Vermont and hang out with his buddies and play some casual beer golf. So maybe he's living on house money at this point. So that's not a bad idea to go with a little bit of a Lowry. It depends on his ownership, but I'm definitely looking at that at DraftKings. I was hoping that you were going to say that you were describing there a historically good, great guy, whatever. Phil! In form. Is he in form enough?
God, he is, man. He's ready. Phil Mickelson will win another PGA Tour tournament.
Okay. What about Kuchar?
Kuchar's 100-1?
He's 110.
Oh, my God. How the mighty have fallen.
That seems weird. He hasn't won in a while,
He hasn't played well. Cam Champ's there at 100, who is playing well. I was very impressed with him at Harding. I think he had a really good finish here last year. Is that correct? Okay. A top 3 at this tournament. And the one that was last one that they had in Boston, I think he finished really well.
I can tell you, Joe, about no putt ambassadors in the 125 and 50 range.
Who?
Ben on.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
And then get ready, Emiliano Grillo.
Oh my God, your card this week. Oh, my God.
Oh, it gets better. Ready?
Throw up on that card.
Get ready. 200. Corey Connors.
Oh, my God. Team no putt till the
Gets better. Add Keegan to it. Duh. A 200. And
like Keegan. I know
Keegan. It. 225. Luke List.
Oh, my goodness, dude.
Oh, my God. Is this the worst
strategy?
Well, hey. They're playing great, actually. Like Corey Connors and Luke List have been playing pretty well, but they suck at putting. And I feel like truly you don't. Maybe there's something about this tournament or this TPC Boston where you come into it and you're like, oh, good, I finally have a chance because it's easy to putt on these greens. Or I don't know, but these people, I don't know. Somehow I've been. This is in my mind, Joe. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just looking at. The recent winners here are pretty damn good putters when you look at Ricky and Bryson and JT. But
Now,
That's
do I
it.
think they're gonna win Griot? And I know probably
These team no putt guys, like that 1 week is inside them,
not.
where they can gain strokes putting, and it's just when it's like I tell my buddies like I only have a finite number of rounds in the 70s that I can shoot.
In your life.
So every time I shoot one, I'm like, okay, I'm out for like another 2 months. Like I just can't back it up. So like now I'm just like firing mid 80s, and I'm like, I'm bound to shoot one. There's only so many in the tank, and you got to use them up when you can. But a couple of guys I got in this range, circled, have not bet yet, but have both been playing really well and have great approach numbers. Dude, have you seen the stats on Russell Henley recently?
He's the best golfer of all time.
He's insane with his irons right now. He's the number one player in the field in irons. He's 125 to 1. He could not make a putt on Sunday. He was lipping out everything, but he has
a badass mohawk too.
Dude, he's killing it. And another guy, speaking of good looks, right? Here's a guy that's got some swag and a great look going right now for himself, a brandable look, Doc. Doc looks fucking awesome right now.
He looks kind of gross. He looks kind of like you.
With the rope hat and the mustache and like the little flare out the back. I love Doc. He's 140 to 1. He's playing so good. He was very close to making a run with Horschel on Sunday. It was nice to see him play with I'm not going to call Billy Horschel like one of the top players in the world, but in that field, he had the toughest matchup in the final round to go off with someone, and he stayed right there with Horschel all day. He had some, he had eagle putts that he just missed. He had a couple of birdie looks. He scrambled well, was very impressed with Doc, and you're back. You're not getting 40 to 1 or 55 to 1 Doc Redman like we saw at some events earlier this season. He's back in that 140, 150 range. It's kind of his sweet spot. He'll be on the top 10 card, that's for sure.
Dude, he definitely learned a thing or two that Doc Redman is going to be a name that you'll know about.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's recap what we're going to tilt this weekend. We're not winning, Joe. I was 22 of 24 in my player pool last week. I had Horschel down to the wire. I had Doc too. My card was great, except for fucking Herman ruined it all. But at the same time, we ran too hot, and now what are we going to do? That's why I'm going with the funny card this week. I'm going with the never win, no putt, Finau and Hideki.
I like that strategy. Hey, I'm going with my guy Brooks. Look, I'm Team Koepka all the way, so give me a 33 to 1, and I'll take it. I don't care what the numbers say, but they do kind of – I'm seeing some arrows that I can see that are pointing in that direction that justify it for me. But if you look overall, he's probably a terrible pick. But I got
the motivation guy. Dude, he's probably pissed. He knows about his freaking life. He knows about everyone making fun of him for making fun of DJ or whatever. He's pissed. He's coming in to he's not going to show up and not be good.
I know. I totally feel like it's overblown, but I get people's take on it, and he just rubs people the wrong way. And it's tough to have that persona when you're not dominant like he was. So you take a couple rungs down the ladder, and all of a sudden people that couldn't reach you with these shots before, you're now within their reach, and the swarms are coming out on them.
Yeah, it's a gang fight.
But listen, we're heading into U.S. Open season. He's motivated
Playoffs
for a championship. We'll see, man. I'm taking a flyer on him. He's going to be my top pick of the week.
Okay. I'm going to add Hatton like you are, and then I'm going to do Hovland, Victor, 66. And then I'm doing long shots on Benon, Emiliano Grillo, and Corey Connors because I'm a fool.
Love it.
No putts.
One of them
could do it. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm going to take Lowry, and I'm definitely going to take Doc Redman. Still debating Henley, and probably going to throw a couple shekels on Keegan. Look, Northeast, the Maine area or wherever the fuck they are this week, that's Keegan's spot, right? That's where you go.
He's from Vermont. I tweet about it on Fantasy Golf Pod. Actually, he grew up in Boston area, as a fan of the Red Sox,
Yeah.
Pats.
But to be honest with you, you've always had that narrative on sort of hometown, and this is where my roots are. This is where I grew up playing. And the last couple weeks, it is proven 100% true. Those guys who grew up in Northern California went off at the PGA Championship. If you look at the final group, and last week the Carolina boys, Redmond. These boys came to play and they were comfortable. And
I'm the first to admit, Joe, that these narratives are mostly bullshit and they don't lead to anything just as much as stats don't lead to anything, and nothing leads to anything. It's all nothing. But at the same time, I'm kind of convinced that this is actually something now because there's no fans. There's no pressure from grandma. There's no first grade teacher on the first tee. There's nothing about this. It's just, I actually like this area. I actually like this grass. I know this weather. I know this wind pattern. Like some of the stuff that just actually helps is helping. Versus
Jeff kind of talked about that with us too. And the fact that normally the home game is not necessarily an advantage, but with the new empty course, it's a little bit of a different role, but that has been proven to be a successful strategy at least the last 2 weeks, and that's about all you can rely on for stats in golf for trying to pick something.
Okay, Joe, you're going to find out about Joe's DraftKings choices tomorrow when you download and listen to the Fantasy Golf Pod, but thank you for listening to the Preferred Lines podcast.
We got to give away some towels.
Oh, we're giving away now.
Yeah, let's give some away. I
love it.
I put out a little tweet earlier. I got some comments here.
Cool.
Let's give away a bunch. I'm in a good mood.
I love it.
All right.
Plus, you got a bunch of money. You're going to buy some more.
Yeah, I can.
T-shirts.
Rack up the stamps.com account. All right.
Who's our lucky winner?
I'm pulling it up. I'm going to pull it up and scroll here. Let me get my jam of the day going here.
Yeah,
for the people.
Celebrate. Can put the chicken suit back on.
Yep. All right, folks. Here we go. We're going to pick some winners. All right, tell me when to stop.
Stop.
Justin Dwepp.
Okay. He sounds cool.
Hey, Diz, 1617. You get a towel.
Stop.
Todd Nelson said burger time. T Nels 21. You get a towel.
Stop.
Josh Radzak. Patrick Reedy says in that range. You get a towel. 2 more.
Stop.
Amateur status. Jason Day pick.
Okay.
Like it, buddy. You get a towel.
Stop.
Robert Polmir said Tony Finau for the win.
Oh, I like that guy. I know him.
You 5 guys get towels. Thank you, guys. You all fucking rock. Chad, you the man.
Yeah, dude, it was so fun. Later. I would literally, that really couldn't have happened to a better guy, Joe. And like, honestly, the community, I was like the 3rd person to have commented that on your post about it. So it's like, you really, truly deserve it. We're happy for you. Don't spend it all in one place.
I won't. Thank you, man. I appreciate you guys saying that, and all the kind words mean a lot to me, and I won't forget you guys when I take off on a rocket ship to the moon. No, I'm kidding. But Preferred Lines, we off.
Yes, sir.